Pittsburgh Steeler fans, what's good? It's your boy Tate in the building from the KnoItAllz on the KnoItAllz channel. Those of you that are tapped in, thanks for tapping in. We certainly appreciate it. Not going to keep you long today. Just want to talk about a few things as the game approaches. Sunday at kickoff at 1:02 p.m. technically. In the windy, in the shy, in Chicago. Steelers have a tough time at Soldier Field. We don't know for sure yet if Aaron Rodgers is playing. He doesn't have a tough time in Soldier Field. I think he got stock in Soldier Field. He's kind of word out there in the streets for the past 15 years. He owns the Chicago Bears. I don't know. I thought the McCaskey family owned the Bears, but Aaron Rodgers is in kind of cool with them and he has some piece of ownership of that. Good for us, right? But yeah, man, let's give everybody a second to tap in, to give yourselves a round of applause. Those of you that are here, thanks for being here. We certainly appreciate you. Thanks for joining. Let's look at the live chat. Let me cut the car stereo down a little bit. There we go. What's good, everybody? Afton in the building. Know It All crew. Mark Cunningham, what I say, Mark? What I say already? I just got to chill or I got to know Diddy? I don't think I got to know Diddy, man. What's up, E. Williams? Corey Brown, CB in the building. Like I said, Afton, J. Steve, Pickens, you big dummy. Thank you, everybody, for tapping in. Today, I want to talk about the Steelers secondary, big nickel packages. I was looking forward to the potential return of DeSean Elliott. Since I decided on this one, I want to talk about the secondary today. I thought that I found out that he may not really make it back. He may not make it back, which is, I mean, I knew they wanted Duggar to fill in for him, but I was looking forward to seeing him and Duggar out there together and letting Jalen Ramsey be allowed to roam again like he had been doing. Like the plan was for him to do from the very beginning. I mean, I think we were deficient, especially on Slade's side too early in the season. I think now the coverages are getting better. I think the fact that Duggar was a great acquisition. I'm not saying he's better than Elliott. Both really good physical safeties. I think Duggar may be better at the pass, and Elliott is super strong at the run and blitzing and causing havoc. I like DeSean Elliott's mentality. I've yet to hear a lot. Not saying that he's not. I don't know. From Duggar, though. Like, he seems to be a mild-mannered guy, just go about his business. I like that juice that Elliott brings. Not picking one over the other. They're both Steelers now. So I can certainly appreciate both of them. But, yeah, having the move to Jalen Ramsey, the safety, we're getting a lot more out the free safety than we have in a while since prime Minka. And even though he's a defensive back, he plays corner, he plays slot, he plays safety, stronger, free. I think Jalen Ramsey right now is better than Minka. Jalen Ramsey has better ball skills all around. With his ability to play man coverage, to play corner, the Steelers can certainly switch up coverages and things like that. I think that's a big asset to what the defense is trying to do. Terrell Austin, Mike Tomlin, just the overall defensive staff, they're really trying to do some of these things, and I think they're working. Take, for example, in the other day's game against the Bengals, they're running all kind of mixed coverage, mostly base cover 3, cover 2, but, split coverage, one side of the field man, one side of the field zone, during variations of cover 2 where it looks like man coverage. You have the corners on one side playing man. On the other side, it looks like they're playing man, but, for example, Joey Porter on the Kyle Duggar interception. Joey Porter dropped off. He went back to kind of like a a deep safety. He fell back. I won't say went deep safety, but he fell back and went to the middle. And then on that route, T. Higgins were coming across, but the whole time the Steelers' plan was for Porter to drop back, Duggar to come up. Flacco thought it was an easy throw over the middle on a crossing route, not realizing Duggar wasn't just playing center field. Duggar was driving on the ball, which Flacco would throw, and Duggar would intercept it and take it to the house. So different. Tim, what's up, man? Tim Lyons from Running Through the Jungle podcast says Bengals suck. NFL should have suspended Chase for 3 games at least. Yeah, man, that's the thing. He got suspended for 1. I think he only got suspended for 1. And I think the biggest part, oh man, glass trouble. Let me get another pair out here. Let's go with my regular readers. But yeah, so what was I saying? I think he got suspended 1 game because Steeler Girl, what's up in the building? Saying what's up to Mark. Because of the precedent set earlier. The NFL is big on precedent, right? I mean, so they suspended the dude from Philly, the D tackle. Jalen Carter. Suspended him 1 game. Well, they didn't suspend him. Just kicked him out the game before the game started. Essentially a 1-game suspension. So the thought is Jalen Ramsey appealed it, but it was rejected. But the thought was if they went higher than that, Jalen Ramsey could potentially get off because the precedent already had been set for this year that if you spit on somebody, you get a 1-game suspension. So that's kind of what happened there. Not sure what the NFL was thinking, but yeah, it's got to stop. I mean, I feel Jalen Ramsey, man. You spit on somebody, you spit on me on site. I'm sorry, team. I'm sorry, defense. I'm sorry, coach. Nah, man, it's just some things you can't just get away with. I mean, Dak Prescott, I don't think really got spit on. Dak handled that well. Handled it better than I could have. That's Minor in the building. Said Chase should got 3-game suspension too. No, don't disagree. Anybody that says the penalty should be more, I think it would have been more if he got hit in his pocket. I'm not sure how. Maybe Tim knows. I'm not sure how Chase contract worked, right? But he only got fined. Well, he's losing a game check of like $500,000. But he makes $41 million a year, which divide that by 17. That's like $2.15, $2.2 million a game is what it breaks down to. Maybe he got money up front that they can't touch now. They're going to only take the game check. So if his game checks are that amount, then he suspended the game, that's what he would lose. But if he was getting paid like straight his salary divided by 17 games, he lost like $2 million. Oh, he'd never spit on nobody again. He might even spit on the sidewalk, for real. But I do think I gotta I'm sorry, give me a second. I'm just looking for my glare free glasses. Here they go. Here go a pair. The glare from my ring light and the screen is really too much for my old eyes. So these clear glasses are good for reading, but I need some with the blocker on it so I can see good. There we go. Keep these glasses here, though. I mean, look. This pair right here, just cold broke, man. I don't know what happened, but anyway, that's why you stay ready. You don't gotta get ready. Keep equipment nearby. But yeah, so that's the thing with Chase. Back to the Steeler defense, though. Oh yeah, hey Pickens, you big dummy. That's true too, man. He looked kind of like a clown, man. It doesn't surprise me him and Jalen Ramsey got into it though. They both big talkers, right? I mean, you grow up, you see 2 alphas bump heads, like especially growing up, like playing high school football or on the playgrounds and the basketball courts. Jokers going at it, man. It gets, testosterone runs high. Let's just say that. Aggressiveness runs high. Things are said. I mean, but spit is just going too far. You know what I mean? Still on me. Slap me before you spit on me. You know, we probably gonna end up knuckling up after all of it. But spitting, I'm a whole another level disrespected and mad. So can't have that in the game. That I think that'll be a major rule next year. They'll put more emphasis on it because it doesn't happen often, but when it happens, it's egregious, completely egregious. But yeah, so the Steelers are loaded now, still injured, missing DeSean Elliott. Fact of the matter is, having a safety tandem like Duggar and Jalen Ramsey back there, they can keep the top on things. And Jalen Ramsey is versatile, where he can come up, he can play deep. Juan Thornhill was not getting the job done. That's why Juan Thornhill is not a Steeler anymore. Chuck Clark is good against the run. A veteran, has the right mentality. Terrible against the pass. You know what I mean? Darius. So from the beginning of the season, to me, has been more about not the scheme, but the actual coverage and the ability of those players out there to execute the scheme. Which you want to put it on coaching, and the coaches need to come up with a scheme that the players can handle and the players succeed in. So I do agree there, but now they're running some of the stuff they wanted to run, only with Jalen Ramsey at free safety, who's like that eraser for a lot of things. Joey Porter's had a good 3-week stretch, looked really good, really, really good. Man, the evolution of James Pierre, as Big G would say, Pierre LaPue. Pierre LaPue was a skunk. James Pierre don't stink though, so I don't call him Pierre LaPue. Hey, shout out Beast 43. Thanks for tapping in, man. Certainly appreciate it. We're gonna be real quick here. I just wanted to talk about the Steelers secondary and what it looks like moving forward. So he's getting some practice reps this week and stuff like that. I'm anxious. I don't know if he'll be moved up today. The Steelers probably at practice right now. That's going on. Don't expect Aaron Rodgers to practice, but looking forward to hearing and seeing what Asante Samuel Jr. can do. You know what I mean? Because the Steelers have so many options now that James Pierre has proven himself, and he played really good man coverage downfield on a few plays. He had an interception that wasn't an interception because he went out of bounds, but he was on it, right? He broke up that deep post route down the middle. Jamar Chase just played. That's what Joey Porter needs to do more of. Play the ball, don't play the man. Don't panic out in space. That's what Joey Porter does so often. He's good in coverage, good to line, good mirroring the guy and staying with him. But when the ball is on the way, he panics and he gets grabby and gets touchy. Stop that, Joey. Just play the ball. Trust your instincts to play the ball like James Pierre did. James Pierre is kind of similar in build and stuff to Corey Trice, with the Steelers a few years ago when they drafted Joey Porter Jr. and Corey Trice in the same draft. They were the avatar corners, both big and long, and Pierre has some of that. Tomlin said yesterday in Tomlin Tuesday that Slay is probably going to be back. He's probably going to start. But just because you're the starter don't mean you finisher. Just because you start don't mean you get the most snaps. So I see out here in Steeler Nation a lot of podcasts and stuff talking about the Steelers making the wrong decision. It's only the wrong decision if you don't go away from it, right? You want to get Darius Slay involved in the game plan. He's a veteran. You're paying him $10 million a year. At some point, what's that? I've said it before, that Toby Keith song, not as good as I once was, but once I'm good as I ever was. Darius Slay will come up with a big play sometime. Not saying this week, sometime this year, Darius Slay is going to pay off. Not saying James Pierre don't need to pay because he does. Play because he does. I can't wait to see him, Asante Samuel, Joey Porter, Ramsey back at free safety, Duggar. I like how that looks. And you still got Eccles. Eccles is nice. Eccles, when he plays in the slot, is not as good at holding Shifty receivers. Baltimore's little shifty guy. What's his name? The kid from Boston College. Somebody in the lot to help me with Baltimore's receiver. Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers. You know, that's probably not a job for Echols, but hopefully Samuels will be ready. And when we play them, he can handle that. Yeah, just so many options in the secondary. You still got Jabril Peppers. I wonder when Jabril's going to get more time and why he isn't, because I think you have a variation of the safeties where Duggar and Peppers are familiar with playing each other. You could play Peppers at a free safety and get away with it, bring Ramsey down. You know what I mean? So much you can do. Peppers can certainly play big nickel too when you put him in. Other teams are in 12 and 13 personnel. Peppers is not a liability because he can cover, especially cover tight ends. Strong against the run. He's versatile. That's the strength of the Steelers secondary now. They have so many versatile pieces. And we got DeSean, Elliott, and Corey Trice. They're not even playing. And they still deep. They deep at the safety position. Deep in the secondary, period. So I'm looking forward to see how this evolves. I think we found some schematic things that are certainly working in the Steelers' favor right now. Continue to go on with that. I think we can turn Caleb Williams over this week. If we certainly can get him off his spot, right? He's a pocket passer, not a pure pocket passer, because he would get out of there quick. He's elusive. He'll spin out and get away, and he's an athlete. He'll run for 5, 10, 12 yards, depending on, you know, what the coverage looks like, if the coverage's back is to him and stuff like that. But we got to contain him and, you know, and Swift. I mean, Ben Johnson was a Detroit Lions defensive offensive coordinator. He's going to run the ball, so expect to see a lot of that Malonga way and DeAndre Swift. Shut the down the run game, make Caleb Williams beat you, put you in passing situations. Let JPJ handle Romo Dunze. You know, kind of maybe DJ Moore, you know, some variation of Echols and Slay. Slay can probably guard him, but that's the receiver you double because you assume Porter can take out the one guy, right? The X receiver. So looking forward to seeing the variations, the changes, the schemes and stuff as we go forward. And with that, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. We'll keep this thing in about 20 minutes. We will be back this evening with a couple of shows. You know, it's Wednesday. On Wednesday, what do? We got the Smash the Gas podcast. We're going to check the pulse of Yinz Nation. See how you guys are doing. Got our Yinz meters out. Talk about the 6-4, first place in the AFC North. Going to Chicago, playing the 7-3 Bears. First place in the NFC North. This matchup, how you guys feel going into it? How you guys feel what you've seen over the past, you know, last 4 or 5 games? Haven't looked good, but it's been trending better. Even against the Chargers, well, that's an anomaly. I don't understand. They got smashed this weekend by Jacksonville, but beat us. But that was because the offense was off, I believe. I believe the defense would have held up even more if the offense had did their thing in that game. So still looking for a complete game. Tonight, we're going to check the pulse of Steeler Nation, the Yinzer meter. So tap in for Smash the Gas at 7:15 right here on the KnoItAllz channel. At 8 o'clock, 8:05, Pump Your Brakes. That's on the KnoItAllz channel on the Steel Curtain Network. We're going to talk about, you know, strength in numbers. We're actually going to talk about the path to the AFC North title. Potential play. If the playoffs started right now today, we'd be playing the Buffalo Bills, hosting the Buffalo Bills, which we host the Buffalo Bills in week 13 after this game against Chicago. So kind of a preview of that. And we'll talk about, you know, potential and chances of the Steelers getting the Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara, California, and the death, right? Aaron Rodgers is dealing with a fractured wrist. Should Mason Rudolph play? We kind of already talked about Darius Slay. Tomlin says he'll come back and start. Should James Pierre get more time? And at linebacker, Malik Harrison's been doing a good job, but Cole Holcomb looks like he's ready to return. What do we do about some of these things where the Steelers have an immense amount of depth that we just want to see, some of these players that are playing well, keep playing well, and the starters get back. I want to see the starters get back in. I'm okay with that, but if they're not holding the line, get them out quick. Just because they started the season starting don't mean they stay starting. So if any fall off, drop off, or anything from what the substitutes have been doing, let's get them guys out of there, right? But yeah, so tap into those two shows tonight. Of course, the homies will be back Friday night. Myself, Pay, B Dirt, talking about the NFL week's matchups, breaking down the AFC North matchups as the Patriots and Bengals play, Jets and Ravens. And Shador Sanders getting his first start. That should be interesting on Friday. We talk about the AFC North. Tomorrow at noon, this time tomorrow, we'll be on here with our big noon pick'em, talking about a couple of games and giving our picks for week 12 in the NFL. So yeah, plenty going on over here. Be sure to tap in. Let's take one last look at the chat. Okay, everybody says something. Yeah, Pickens, you big dummy, you right. Smash Caleb Williams, and smash that like button. Frosty came in the building. What up, Frost? Happy hump day to you too, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Like I said, with that being said, for Tate's Take on Wednesday, KnoItAllz channel, we out. Thanks for tapping in. See you guys tonight. Peace.
Let's go.
Mamba out.
Y'all come back now. Here.